I'm not afraid to take a stand, baby. It's your boy Jay Ezo. Yeah, what up, people? How you doing? It's your boy Jay Ezo. Uh, I'm glad to see you again. It's been a while. Yeah. Like you all know before, this used to be a workout channel before, S Pro Boxer channel. Yeah. Because I did boxing for a living. So after life after sport, so I felt like I should start doing a workout, especially indoors for those that can't afford to go to the gym. And I actually started this channel back when the COVID was hitting really hard, when everything was shut down. So I was doing a YouTube channel at home, workout for indoors. But however, along the road, something happened. I got into a car accident. I was badly damaged, yeah. But I have gone through all of physicality training, physiotherapies, and all of that. So I'm getting better gradually, gradually. But however, I'm not going to be able to continue the fitness training on this channel. So I want to turn it into a talk show channel. So it's basically going to be J Talk Show. Yeah, so that's what it's going to be. And for those of you who have followed me for a while, I want to say thank you. For those that have subscribed, thank you. And please share more of this video. More content are going to be coming out on the talk show and reality. And we're going to speak about things happening around the world and stuff like that. Yeah. But anyway, let's go straight to the point. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about like you all know, I'm from Africa. I was born in Nigeria some 40 some years ago, but I'm glad to say I'm Canadian. Okay, I've lived in Canada for over 22 years, so I'm proud to say I'm a Canadian. I live pretty much half part of my life, or not even half, in Nigeria where I was born, and I've lived in Canada now for over 22 years. So definitely, I'm more a Canadian than a Nigerian, although I was born in Nigeria, but can still say I'm proud African. Yeah. So this is what has been happening. Like you all know, for those that have been following the world news, the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, or whatever her name is, she visited 3 states in Africa, and Ghana, Zambia, and Uganda. And her mission was basically to go there and impose that belief on us, and that is gay and lesbian, LBGT plus. People sick in the brain, yeah? Them sick in the brain, seriously. Okay, let me start with Africa. Okay, I come from a polygamous home. Polygamous in Africa is a way of life. It's not a taboo. If you're a Muslim, you're allowed to marry 4 wives. It's not a sin, it's not a taboo. Some people have got married to 4 wives, and guess what? They're living happily in the same house in a big compound, because we build houses in the same compound, big yard, and if you have 4 or 5 wives, they're all living together with the kids. The kids know their siblings and happy family. I come from a polygamous home. My dad has 11 children, basically 4 wives, maybe. Yeah. So, and my great grandfather, my grandfather all have 3 wives. So my family is big. So if you know my last name, you can literally check any person that bears the same last name with me on Facebook anywhere. That person is related to me somehow, my cousin. It's not a sin, it's not a taboo, even in the Bible. You gotta love them equally. If you marry 2, 3 wives, you gotta love them equally. You gotta treat them with respect. It's not a sin or a taboo in the Bible. But in the Bible, God condemns gays and lesbians. God condemns it. Yeah? I mean, it's funny though, knowing fully that these same called politicians, yeah, just because they wanted to get a vote, they are willing to give out the word of God to rub it on the ground. Okay, these same called politicians, they sworn an oath, of staff with the Bible or the Quran. In the Bible, they know categorically God condemns gays and lesbians. God cast them off, although they've been there right from their existence, but God cast them off. But there was nowhere in the Bible that God calls people who have 2 or 3 wives. But America will choose to pass a law to allow a man to marry a man, a woman to marry a woman. It's a law. They call it human right. I don't think it's human right. I think it's animals' right. People sick in the brain. Yeah? Here's the deal. Okay, now, the Vice President of the United States went to Africa. She started 3 days tour with Ghana. and she went to the parliament in Ghana. So basically, she was just there to tell them the agenda. You know how they like to bully other people in the world, in the country, in the houses. Okay, we're going to invest $100 million in Ghana, but here is they always give you America, United States, or the so-called Western country. They will never give you financial aid without asking for something. They are willing to invest $100 million in Ghana, but here's the deal. Ghana has to approve the lesbian and gay right. Wait a minute. So the Ghanaian parliament, like, this is an insult. You don't believe in our culture. You don't believe in our tradition. You don't believe the people's mindset right. Ghana has a population of over 33, almost 35 million people, yeah? So within Ghana, realistically, okay, if you have to ask people to go for referendum vote, I'm not sure you're going to count 1 million people who are lesbian and gay in Ghana. So just because of 1 million people, you want other 34 million to give out their right and believe and pass a law that will favor 1 million people. So what about the rest 34 million people that doesn't want it, that sees it as a taboo, a curse, and which it is? Okay, like I said, I've lived in Canada for over 22 years. Okay, it's part of the system in Canada. You can never discriminate against lesbian and gay. I stayed on my lane. Nigerian will say stay in your lane. I stayed on my lane. Do I like it? No, I don't like it. Do I hate the humans? I don't hate the human. God created them, they're all humans like us. But I hate the spirit that is possessing them to make them believe that it's okay for the man to marry a man and for the woman to marry a woman. No, it's not okay. You know? So the Ghanaian parliament are about to pass a law right now. So with that annoying mindset, the parliament in Uganda passed a law, so drastic law, that if you are caught as a lesbian and a gay, you either be sentenced to life or a death penalty. And also the people from Zambia has also passed a law. Because we look at it like it's a curse, it's a taboo. We look at it like people trying to bully other people. How dare you? Maybe our leaders in Africa, our government, our president in Africa should start coming to this Western world and also bring to them and say, here, listen, we're going to invest $200 million in your country, but please allow people who believe in polygamous to marry 2 or 3 wives as long as they can afford it. Maybe. But you cannot dare that. But they want to bring their own dirty lineage to Africa. I think it's a curse. It's disrespecting that you don't respect other people's culture, other people's belief and value as human being. Yeah, we have African culture. But however, Islamic and Christianity find its way to Africa. Slowly and steadily, African culture is beginning to go down the rail. But however, it's still pretty strong. People still practice it. People still believe in it. Yeah, I come from a polygamous home. Part of people in my family are Muslim and Christian and African traditionalists, whatever. Yeah, so it's part of our system. But Christianity has really grown. And in the same Bible that the Christians are using to preach, in that same Bible that the Westerners brought to us, the Jewish, okay, the British, the so-called Westerner brought Christianity to Africa. In that same Bible, it's there where God hates and condemns lesbian and gay. And guess what? In that same Bible and the Quran, these politicians, during when they're taking the staff of office, their oath, they're sworn with the Bible. Just like here right now in Canada, I believe in every part of the world. If you go into the court or if you have to be sworn the staff of oath to the office, they will ask you, are you a Christian or Muslim? So depending on your faith, and they will give you a Bible or a Quran to swear with. And they know what is in the Bible. They know the content of the Bible. But the politicians don't care. They would rather throw what is in the Bible out to favor few individuals who are sick in their mind just to gain vote. Unfortunately, our brother, the former president of the United States, Barack Obama, was the first American president ever in the world to legalize the marriage of gays and lesbians. Yeah? So right now, in the United States, they have the population of over 360 million, or 350 precisely to 360 million. I bet you the population of gays and lesbians is not up to maybe 5 million. So you're telling me just because of 5 million people, the rest of 240 million have to give their right and belief and their faith to favor 5 million people. Or in Ghana, that has about 33, 35 million, the gays and lesbians over there, the population is not up to 1%, maybe 2%. 2 million. So basically, you're going to tell me just because of 2 million people in Ghana who believes in gays and lesbians, the other 33 million have to give their right, that belief, that tradition, that faith, to give their right to other people. Come on, man. I think it's annoying. I think it's disrespectful. Yeah? How I wish American can go to Iraq or North Korea to prove, to go pass the same message they bring it to Africa. But they can't. I'm not sure why they are just looking downward on Africa. And I don't blame them, because why? Our leaders in Africa have failed in every shape or form. Yeah, they have failed. They are incompetent to speak, to defend their land. Africa has gotten her freedom. Every state in Africa have gotten their freedom. So we are independent. We got our freedom. But why are they still imposing their rules and laws on us? Whether we can go there. Imagine offering Ghana $100 million to invest, but with condition attached to it, to want to believe the gay, lesbian, and gay right. How about if a politician in Ghana, I bet you, there are rich people in Ghana, Nigeria, we have millionaires, we're counting them, but they're corrupt and thieves. One person in Nigeria or in Ghana can offer America $200 million and say, okay, here's the deal. How about if we invest $200 million in your country? Please pass a law that will allow an African man who comes to live in your country to be able to marry 2 or 3 wives if he chooses to, because it's part of our system too in Africa. But we couldn't do that because we believe once you're in Rome, do what according to Romans are doing. And when you're back to Africa as an African, we respect people here. We respect the culture of every country that will come to live. We all left Africa for greener pasture to the better countries today because our system in Africa is corrupt. Our government are corrupt. They are all thieves. They have stolen from Africa. The Western have stolen from Africa. The Westerners have stolen from Africa for over 400 years. Slavery and everything. But guess what? Africa is still strong and stand. Literally, the whole resources today the world is using it from Africa. Congo is the richest country in Africa, and that is why you see for over 20 years they have been fighting in Congo. Why? Because people are sponsoring talks and here and there to cause confusion in between them. Because the place that is fight, people are not going to be thinking of how to grow. They're always thinking of how to defend themselves. While the thieves are keep stealing their diamonds and resources. It's sad. We need a united Africa, one army, one strong country, one currency, one Africa. People just coming to take advantage. Every dick and alley we just come to Africa and this is an insult. Yeah? Like I said, even within the United States, okay? United States is about how many percent population? 350 million to 360 million. Maybe 5 million are gays and lesbians. Other people hate them. They don't even want to. During that parade here in Canada, the white Canadians are even stoning them. Police have to arrest them. Oh, human right, human right. Lord have mercy. I think the so-called Western country have to stay in their lane. Like Nigerian would say, stay on your lane. Stay in your lane and stop going other people's lane. Africans are not going to leave that country and come here to tell you what we do in Africa, you have to put into a curriculum or your system. No, we don't do that. So why are you going to go to Africa and want to impose your LGBTL plus gay, lesbian right? It's not a human right, it's an animal's right. I bet you, let's do some experiment. I want you to go get an animals, 2 males animal, either cocks or goat. Put 2 male animals in the same cage and find out what will happen. They're going to be fighting themselves because they are not meant to be together. And we are humans. We supersede these animals under us. So I guess some animals are even wiser than some humans. It's disgusting. It's gross. Even having a man staring at a man's ass or having a feeling for a man, a woman having a feeling for a woman. People sick in the brain. I just think so. People are sick in the brain. But I don't blame them because some group of government who claim to be politicians are supporting them. Yeah. Why can't people just live their life truly? Let people live their life. You want to be a gay, you want to be a lesbian, fine. If I feel I want to marry 2 wives, 3 wives, fine. Why are you going to put a law that would not allow me to marry 2 or 3 wives I feel like I want to do? But now you're going to put a law that allows a man to marry a man, a woman to marry a woman. Isn't that sickening? Yes, I think it's sickening. It's disgusting. It is. But anyway, I'm not here to take it personally. I just wanted to share this view so that you all can see what is going on in the world, how some people are just trying to bully other people, irrespective of their world, military powers, bombs and ammunition or whatever they have. But I think they need to respect other people's culture, belief, and traditions. We are humans. We are created by God. God owns the earth. I've never seen American creating human being. God created heaven and earth and created humans. Yeah? But anyway, I'm just saying it the way it is. I'm keeping it real. It's your boy Jay Ezo. I'm the presenter of Talk Show TV. Big up.
In Uganda just for saying you're gay. Politicians this week celebrated passing some of the harshest anti-LGBTQ legislation in the world.
We are going to reinforce the law enforcement officers to make sure that homosexuals have no space in Uganda.
Homosexual acts were already illegal in Uganda, but this bill makes simply identifying as gay illegal, and you can even face the death penalty in some cases. And friends and family members of LGBTQ people can even be imprisoned for not reporting those that they know are gay. The United States is one of many countries to condemn this new law, saying,
"The bill is one of the most extreme anti-LGBTQI+ laws in the world. Human rights are universal."
Hey, what up, people? How you doing? It's your boy Jay Ezo. I'm back again with another episode. It's a done deal. Okay, it's a done deal. The bill is passed in Uganda. If you are caught as a member of the LGBT, whatever, yeah, it's a done deal. It's either you're sent to life imprisonment or death penalty. It's a done deal. So I want you to stay tuned and watch the video as the people of Uganda celebrate in the parliament during and after the bill has been passed. And the whole community, the people, the beautiful people were celebrating it. Stay tuned and watch the video, and I'll be right back. Thank you.
Could land you in prison for the rest of your life, or even the death penalty in certain cases. The change comes after Parliament passed a new bill with widespread support to crack down on the country's LGBT community.
In our country, we will have our morals. We will protect our children. We are going to reinforce the law enforcement officers to make sure that homosexuals have no space in Uganda.
The bill still needs to be signed by the president to become law, but it would make merely identifying as gay illegal for the first time. Frank Mugisha, a gay LGBT activist living in Uganda, has grave concerns.
Because it has a death penalty, and many people will be worried, many people will be scared.
The move is drawing ire from around the world. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights calling it a deeply troubling development.
The anti-homosexuality bill that just passed Parliament in Uganda is probably the most draconian and hideous anti-LGBTQ bill that exists anywhere in the world.
Really?
She's not alone in that sentiment. The White House press secretary agreeing, also bringing up potential ripple effects of such a law.
Ripple effect, really?
Of the anti-homosexuality
Crazy people
act.
then.
It would impinge upon universal human rights.
Hear what she's saying.
Jeopardize progress in the fight against HIV/AIDS.
Jeopardize progress in the fighting against HIV or AIDS. Is she making sense at all? Is she making sense at all?
One of more than 60 nations around the world that outlaw homosexuality.
One among of 60 nations. So why is it a big deal?
Many new criminal offenses which could affect the entire population. Friends, family, and other citizens would have a duty to report individuals in same-sex relationships to the authorities.
Exactly.
It prohibits landlords from renting premises that are used for the purposes of homosexuality. You can be sentenced to prison for 10 years for knowingly renting a room to someone who's LGBTQ.
The law would also criminalize the promotion or normalization of
Say no
homosexuality.
to
which means any
homosexuality
organization,
in
including
Africa.
foreign ones, that has a policy of
Hey, what up, people? Thanks for watching that short video. And yeah, I'm not afraid to take a stand. Freedom of speech, you know what I mean? Say how it is and what you believe in it, and stand in your tradition and culture and your belief. Don't let people change you, intimidate you, or emulate you over believing in what they want you to believe in it. Yeah? No, we're free citizens of the world. We should be able to decide how we want to live our lives, what we believe in it. I don't get it. What's wrong with America? What is the agenda of this so-called LGBT they are promoting in the world? Okay, why Africa? Okay, Africa has been in existence for a very, very long time. Just about 400 plus years ago. The British, the Germans, the Portuguese all came to Africa with the good news. They brought the Bible. Yeah, they said they came with the good news of our Lord Jesus Christ. They brought the Bible. Africa have accepted Christianity and Islam, combined with the African tradition and religions and belief that we have in place before. In that Bible, in the content of the Bible, yeah, with the good news of Jesus Christ they brought for us. I want you all to open up to the book of Leviticus 20, verse 13. If you're reading the Bible, if you know the Bible, in the book of Leviticus 20, verse 13, I want you to go look into that chapter in the Bible. This is the same Bible the so-called Western people, the British, the Jews, the Americans, the Portuguese, brought to Africa with the good news of our Lord Jesus Christ. I want you all to go read the book of Leviticus 20, verse 13. Like, what's going on? Yeah, the Chinese are giving loans, building bridges, constructions, building LRTs, developing countries. The Chinese are not spiritual people. They don't believe in spirituality. They're not Christians, neither Muslim. They are just everywhere. They have no special religion. These are the same people, American, who claims, if you know the logo of American, it's called God's own country. Yeah, God's own country. These are the people who claims to be God's own country, promoting the right of LGBT over people that doesn't want it. Yeah, I'm a little bit choked. Yeah, so what is going on in the world? What is the impact? I mean, what is the big deal about this so-called LGBT? Why can't people live in their own country, live in their own life? Okay, if you choose to be LGBT, fine. Do it wherever, in any place that accepts you. Do it there. If you're going to Rome, if the Rome says you can't bring 2 luggage into that country, you only allow 1 luggage. If you want to go there, go with 1 luggage. Don't go with 2 luggage. That is the rules of the country. If African says we're not welcoming LGBT, we're people who has believed in religion, we have tradition and moral values. Why can't you respect our feelings? Like they say, respect is reciprocal. Yeah? So what is the big deal with America? Why is it that everything American says, they have to push it to people? Like America have to say it? Yes, it has to be because American says it. Really? America should start creating their own humans, their citizens, a human, and they put life into them, breathe air into them, and tell them what to do and how to live a life. Maybe they should start doing that. We are all created by God's own image, and we have a rules and law that bound people. We have tradition and belief. Why should other people be forcing you to accept what others accepted? Like I said, this so-called LGBT, homosexuality, lesbian, and gay, the percentage is not even up to 2% in the world. I'm even over-exaggerating, not even up to. Let's go for referendum vote and see. Even within the same United States is over 350 million plus, almost 360 million. If they have to go voting, I'm not sure the LGBT community that up to 5 million. Yeah, and you're telling me humans' right. What makes it a human's right? It's an animal's right. It's a man God's right, not a human's right. Because human thinks. I want you all to know that it's not everybody that put on suit that are normal. You all can see these politicians, them putting on suit and everything. You think they're normal, irrespective of the position they occupy in their offices. They are not normal. Categorically, I'm saying it straight up, man. I'm from Africa. I know African politicians. They will come and promise you heaven and earth and just to get a support, just to get a vote. And when they get there, they don't do nothing. And that is why Africa is suffering. Africa is blessed with gold, diamond, mineral resources, everything you can talk about. Whatever the world is occupying today, in terms of minerals, everything comes from Africa. The origin comes from Africa. It's just that we have leadership that are incompetent, that are not up to the standard of being even a counselor, but rather they want to be a president of a country and rule over people. Basically, some of African presidents, they are just the gatekeepers to this so-called Western country. They are the gatekeeper. Africa is not progressing because of the fools and the incompetent leaders we have. With the resources that we have in Africa, we shouldn't even be begging people for financial aid. You can imagine American is telling Africans country that refuse LGBT right, they are going to take the right of financial aids for them. Really? Keep it. Keep it. I think they should even stop giving African countries financial aid, because that is why Africa is becoming lazy, because they're all depending on Western aid. Maybe Africa should start growing up their resources, their money, their everything. Think. Let us think as a people. Stop imposing on us. This is freedom of speech. I'm just saying it the way it is. Freedom of speech. I've lived in Canada for 22 years. I stayed in my lane. Canada is the home of gays and lesbians. It's part of the curriculum, the system. You've got to learn it. Even right from grade 1, kindergarten, they're already teaching them. We should all protect our children. I think we should give them right to live and protect them and let them know the consequences of every action. Yeah, we are humans. If you're born a man, you're a man. If you're born a woman, you're a woman. God has not created other. In most of the application now, or in some offices, government offices, if you go there, you're going to see male, female, or other. I'm like, other. When did God create other? There are males and female. Like I said, a lot of people are putting on suit, occupy offices, and you think they're normal. No, they ain't normal. They're not normal in the brain. They're sick. And moreover, this shouldn't even be an issue to be talking about. What is the big deal about this whole thing? Like I said, in Africa, we believe in polygamies. We kept it in Africa. When we come to this so-called Western country, we don't come here and say, oh, because we want to believe in, we live in polygamies in Africa, we want you to put it in part of your system, and they will be pushing it on them that you have to accept it. You have to accept it. We don't. So why? Few individuals that are maggot, they are maggot. They're not humans. Saying that it's human right. They ain't human right, man. Few individuals, because of their belief, their selfish interest, for a man to be staring at a man, a woman to be staring at a woman, and you're telling me it's a human's right. And then when people say, no, we don't want it, and you're telling them you're going to impose sanction on them, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Seriously. Respect is reciprocal. Why can't America and all the so-called Western country, the great world powers leaders who can bomb and throw arms, ammunitions, who can bomb, that's what they do. They will send a bomb. If you refuse to accept their offer, they will put sanction on your country, start looking for something to throw in there, and the next thing, they will start throwing bombs and sending soldiers to bombs and kill people just because you refuse or you disagree with them. Why? Aren't we normals? Aren't we humans? What's going on, man? I think it's time for Africa to come together and be united and let have one voice. You know, no LGBT, no gays and lesbian, no homosexuality in Africa. But however, if you want to visit Africa, you can go to South Africa. Okay? South Africa, Namibia, they are the countries in Africa who welcomes gays and lesbians. Maybe you should go there. Don't go to West Africa. Nigeria precisely, Ghana, West Africa, don't go there. If you have to go there for vacation, if you really have to, you've got to behave yourself, just like we are behaving ourselves when we come to your country. Don't go to East Africa, don't go to Kenya, East Africans. Don't go to North Africa. They're not going to welcome you. You got to behave like a human who has brain, if you wish to visit there as a tourist. Yeah? Don't go there and want to tell them, hey, because you are this, you want them to believe you. You want them to accept what you believe in it. What about what we believe in it? We as a human, our tradition, our values, our morals, our faith. Yeah, because of few individuals, then we should give out our right. Yeah, humans' right. But anyway, I just wanted to contribute to this. I'm waiting for Ghana to pass the law, the bills, and I'm also going to post it. But however, this is from Uganda right now. I just want you all to know, stay off Africa. If you're LGBT, stay in your country. Okay? When we come to your country, we stay in our lane. I am living on my lane. I'm not going to come to Canada and tell them, oh, because my dad got married to 4 wives, I want to get married to 4 wives. I believe in polygamy, so you all need to put it in your system. No, I'm not going to do that. So respect me, I respect you is reciprocal. But anyway, I'm just keeping it real. It's your boy Jay Ezo. Please like, share with other fellow Africans who believe in the same views and respect the rules of law and tradition of our ancestors. Share this video, let it go viral, and like to subscribe this button, click the button and support this YouTube channel, let it grow. Thank you and watch out for more. Big up. Hey, what up people, how you doing? It's your boy again, Jay Ezo. I'm back again, another day, another topic. It's a beautiful day here. On this channel, we talk about politics, religion, and news around the globe, especially within the Africa continent. Yeah, the video before the last that I did on this channel was basically to talk about the US Vice President trip to Africa, how she went to Africa to portray the LGBT whatever right to the African people, to pass it into a law, make it a bill and they put it into a law. She visited 3 countries, I think 3 or 4 countries. She visited Ghana, Uganda, Tanzania, and Zambia. I'm glad to inform that these 3 countries turned her down. She was maybe humiliated. She felt like, oh, really? American Vice President? You guys didn't really accept what I came for. You can see the expression from her face, But I don't really know what is happening around the world. Chinese are building bridges, giving loans, building hospitals, infrastructure, schools, and medical centers. The so-called almighty American, the so-called God's own country, are going around the world to preach, about LGBT right. What right do they really have? These are maggot. Really, their percentage is not even up to 1% in the whole world. So why would some maggot, some people that have a personal interest, why will their interest become a law in the society that we're living? It has never been a problem before Americans started raising these concerns. It has never been. Don't get me wrong. In Nigeria, in Ghana, most of African countries, they have always been lesbian and gay. They've been living their life, they know their boundaries, and nobody really cared about them. It started becoming a problem when America started pushing it, especially when the gay president of the United States, Barack Obama, the Democrat are the one pushing this agenda. The Republican, they are not. And that is why they don't like Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump is a Republican. He said it straight up. His administration will never give attention to lesbian and gay. And he meant it. And that was why they hated him a lot. What is the purpose, really? What is happening within this world? Like I said before, you can see people putting on suits, occupying positions irrespective of that position they occupy as politicians. Some of them are not normal because I don't think people with normal sense, they're going to be forcing and pushing agenda on other people's life. They don't care about your religion, your belief, your ethnicity, your culture, but they just want you to accept what they accept. But then what we accept, they don't want you to come tell them. How is that a democracy? A democracy is where people come together, reason together, make up an idea. It's not where one person claims to be superior that just want to tell everybody what to do. That is not a democracy. In Africa, most of our grandfathers and fathers lived in polygamy. Polygamy still happens in Africa, even to this day, 2023. But it's just the maturity and the cost of living. So a lot of people couldn't afford it. Otherwise, polygamy still exists. But when we come to this part of the world here, we understand it's one man, one woman affair. We don't bring our lifestyle to them, our culture, and say, hey, listen, because we come from a polygamous background, definitely you have to accept our way of life. We don't do that. So why would they want to push that way of life, their agenda, their bill, to accept gays and lesbians, for the man to be staring at a man, for a lady to be staring at a lady, is a way of life in the so-called Western country. Why would they want to push it to us? We said we don't want it. But anyway, I'm glad the purpose was defeated. And she was a little bit humiliated. You can see from her face, she was frowning. She wasn't smiling. The idea, the excitement of people seeing a lady of color, seeing her as an American vice president, people were excited to see her. But the moment she started dropping those LGBT agenda, you can see questions were coming out from both sides, left, right, center. People were not really happy any longer. She left not being happy either, because her agenda was not met, and I'm glad that it wasn't. So I want you all to listen to an American lady, what she said, and also the Uganda president, what he said after the Uganda parliament has passed this bill and it has become a law in Uganda. If you're caught right now as a lesbian or gay in Uganda, you will be sent to 14 years imprisonment. No question about that. There's no United Nations that will come bail your ass out. Stay in your country, practice your LBGT, your gay and lesbian, but don't go to other people's culture and you want to dent their image, their culture, their belief. Respect is reciprocal. You can do that. So y'all stay tuned and watch this, and I'm going to be right back.
Is over in Africa trying to force them to accept LGBTQ and remove their laws, criminalizing it. And we're still fighting to accept it here in America.
Tell them all.
So that's some audacity.
I know, right?
To go to another nation and say that you need to accept this, you need to accept these people. Well, we don't even accept them here in America.
I know that.
The hypocrisy is disgusting.
I want to salute the Ugandan parliament. They didn't come to discuss with me. We didn't discuss it before they started. They started on their own private members' motion. It's now that I'm coming in. But it's good that you have taken an independent stand, and we have always taken an independent stand. Not only on this issue, but also on other issues. And now, the bill is coming. I haven't seen it yet, but when it comes, I will call you and we shall organize and protect our children. There will be no promotion of homosexuality in Uganda.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the president of Uganda.
But you heard what our guest, what is her name? Our guest, the lady.
Miss Sharon Slatter.
Mama Slatter. Mama is the word for respect. The mother. You heard what Mama Slatter said? This disoriented person, how do we handle him or her? I studied English in the school. There's an English word called insufferable. Somebody is insufferable. Really, it goes on your nerves. You feel like exploding. This person, why does he? You really feel, you pity him. How can somebody think like this? Looking at me and thinking that I am to be told, do this, do that, because of some little help. it's really madness. So finally, I want to assure Madam Slata that there will be no comprehensive sex education here.
Yes, there will be no comprehensive sex education in Uganda, in Africa. Yes, let kid be kid and allow them to grow.
Why? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Why? You see, these people are really, they have lost their mind.
Yes, they've lost their mind.
In the book of Ecclesiastes, in the Bible,
In the book of Ecclesiastes, in the Bible,
it says there is time for everything.
there is time for everything.
There
In the
is
book
time
of
for
Ecclesiastes.
There is time for that. There is time for this, there is time for that. Now, children are children. They need to grow as children.
Yes.
How can you now
And this video is courtesy to
let their child
Stamps Now.
and you start lecturing them about adulthood?
Other, I know.
What
Male, female, and the other. Male, female, and the other.
Maybe Dr. Wahonda can tell us, just briefly, child psychology. Is child psychology really helped by because when you are a child, you are playing with the. I used to see my children, Mozi and the other, my girls. They like the comics, things with the funny things. They don't have time for serious topics of this and that, and they want they want amusement. So what psychology are you doing? Dr. Wahonda, you help us if you can. A child really is a child fitted to deal with issues of adults.
Your Excellency, the brain is the last organ to mature, and the part of the brain that makes us sexual matures about the age of 12, 13. And that's when really the children will start asking issues about sexuality. But the part of the brain that helps them to reason, to make good decisions, does not mature until 22 years of age. And therefore, if you cannot teach a child to make good sexual decisions, it is not possible. That's why we have the age of 18 as the cutoff for what children can be allowed.
What an amazing, Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. If this is the first time, please kindly like, share, and click the subscribe button, please. Support your channel, and we're still looking to grow, so support our channel. Thank you. And if you're older subscriber, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for being there for us. We're gonna bring you more current news that is happening within the blogs and news from the world as a whole. It's not just within the Africa continent only. So whenever I can lay my hands upon any good news that I think is vital to share, I will share it on this platform. But it's basically going to be political news, religious news, and news around the world that I think is vital for human development. So what do you guys think? Leave a comment. I like to read comments, and I like to reply you, definitely. I don't think LGBT supposed to be a agenda to even talk about. Okay, they have chosen that path. Let them live their life. At the end of the day, everyone is going to give testimony about their life, and they're going to be standing before the throne to tell the Almighty what they have done with their life. So we are not here to judge them, but we're only here to stop those that are trying to impose them on us, because we as a human, we all have right. So we don't need some few individuals calling me to tell other people to accept some certain people because of their own personal mindset, their own personal maggot thinking kind of. We don't need those people. Let them live their life. At the end of the day, they will stand before the throne of judgment to tell the Almighty what they have done with their life. So however, we do not need no government or politicians to tell us to put their right in their bills into a law. We don't need it. Everybody have equal right. They are humans. They are humans. So we have human rights. So they are part of the human right. We do not need to create another right again for them. No, we don't. That is my personal opinion, but I think that is majority's opinion. But anyway, thank you very much. Please like, share, view, and subscribe. More growth on this channel. Thank you and have a good one. Big up. Hey, what up, people? How you doing again? It's your boy Jay Ezo. I'm back again with another topic, another day. At this platform, we're going to be talking about politics, religion, and news around the globe. Again, I'm going to be nailing on America. US will never cease to amaze you. Okay? The so-called police of the world, the so-called champions of the world, the so-called God's own country. They are back at it again. Yeah, you can't believe an 11-year-old girl went to the school. She's been attending the same school for over 6 years, and then all of a sudden, she started having interaction with a teacher in the school who thought she's more a guy than a girl. An 11-year-old girl started doing the process of transiting from a girl to a boy without the family's knowledge. And the school authority helped her, even started the transaction of turning her to be a boy from a girl. Finally, the little girl thought like, okay, mom, I have to let you know my new gender. I'm no longer a girl, I'm transiting to a boy. The school is helping me and blah, blah, blah. The mom is like, what? Wait a minute, what the heck are you talking about? I gave birth to a girl, not a boy. So the mother has to go to school to confirm what the little girl told her, and she found out it was true. So guess what? The mom, she's suing the school right now. And she's suing the school principal, the authorities of the school, for doing that without her consent. What kind of society are we living, really? Like, what is going on with United States? I think United States is going down the hill, and they want other people who they're going to go with them, who wants to go with them. Seriously, what is the big agenda about the LGBT, the transgender life that American, the Democrat, are prospering to other people's life? What is the big thing? It does not increase economic growth. It does not increase lifestyle. It does not support individuals' family lifestyle. It does not support anything. You can't get anything from it financially, just that they are looking for people who they're going to consume along with them to go ahead. Yeah, you can't believe. But anyway, I'm not going to talk too much. Wait and watch this little girl's mom in the school while she's lamenting and telling the school that she's suing them, and she meant it and she's going for it. Stay tuned and watch this, and I'll be right back.
And I am the mother that filed the lawsuit in federal court against Chico Unified for transitioning my daughter without my knowledge. I'm here today to tell my story so parents and the public know what is going on in our schools. Last year, my 11-year-old daughter was in elementary school here at Chico Unified, and our elementary school transitioned her from female to male behind my back. Shortly before this happened, my father had recently passed away, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer. My daughter was distressed and began questioning her sexuality, so she decided to reach out to a wellness counselor at our elementary school. The day my daughter shared with her guidance counselor that she felt like a boy, the counselor immediately affirmed this new identity. From then on, the counselor continued to have one-on-one meetings with my daughter without my knowledge. During one of those one-on-one meetings, my daughter told the counselor she wanted to tell me about her new identity. The counselor ignored her request and did nothing to support her in letting me know what was going on at school. Throughout her transition, my daughter changed very quickly, was bullied, and as a result was very unhappy. And because her school kept this transition a secret from me, she was on her own. I'm a busy working mother just like the rest of you. Before this happened to our family, I would have not believed this was going on in our schools, especially at the elementary level. I want everyone to know, I want everyone to understand that I want a space for our LGBTQ and trans community members to feel safe and supported. But the policy currently in place at Chico Unified has been damaging to our family. And I am not up here talking about what could happen if you continue this policy. I am up here telling you what did happen to our family. This was a time when she needed me the most, and you kept it a secret from me. I understand that you are trying to find ways to create a safe environment for all children within our district, but keeping secrets from parents is not the way to do it.
Sick people,
Treating every parent as a potential threat to their kids is wrong. I know it's easy to make up a narrative
I think
when
the
it comes
word
to
is
my
really
case.
coming to
I
an
know
end.
it's easy for people to judge
Yeah.
and say my daughter must have not felt safe or supported. And
For an
that's the
11
reason
years
for
old
telling her
girl.
counselor. But regardless of what
Jesus.
the people say, I love my children and there isn't anything they could ever do to change that. It wouldn't have mattered to me whether my daughter continued to identify as a male. I would love her the same. It's a slippery slope to allow any adult in our schools to keep secrets from parents for any reason. The actions the school board district took to immediately exclude me from supporting my daughter was very damaging to her and our family. She was very young and didn't understand what being transgender really meant or the obstacles she would face going through a transition. The school transitioned her and left her to figure it out on her own. It seems to me the district is getting it wrong on both sides. You don't know how to handle these very serious and sensitive situations because once you transitioned her, you left her to handle it all by herself, the bullying and the staff even outing her. Thank you.
Wow. 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 I hope you all watched that and you all hear what the lady was saying. You all what she said, right? So you can't believe you're sending your 11 years old daughter to school and then coming back to tell you that she thinks she's a boy. She's no longer a girl. And then you now find out that it's even the school that is helping her to turn into a trans, and she's already in the trans progression to be a boy instead of being a girl. Wow. What world are we living right now? Seriously. What world are we living right now? Is it truly that the world is coming to an end? If it is, then it better hurry. It better hurry and come to an end so that this whole nonsense can stop. Like seriously, what is wrong with American? Seriously. And for you immigrants coming from Africa or every other part of the world, yeah, start getting your family ready for the wars that you're going to be fighting when you get here. The government are literally in charge of your family. Your kid could go to school and talk to the teacher, hey, mommy did this, mommy died, or daddy. Before you know, the social worker, the police will be at your doorstep. Before you know, your kid will be taken away from you. Yeah, that is the system we're living in here. Yeah, I have lived here for over 22 years and still counting, and I'm proud to be a Canadian. Yeah, but however, I live on my lane. I don't go dive into the system or the culture, whatever, because it's different from where I was brought up from. Yeah, wow, it's crazy. I'm glad I got my beautiful kid born here. 3 beautiful Canadian kids. My daughter is 20. My son is 18. The little one is 13. I'm glad they know their roots. They know their trace. I stood on my ground as a father. My daughter knows she's a girl. My boys know they are boys. And I know their relationship. I know their interests. You really need to be tough. You really need to stand on your foot. Yeah? But anyway, thank you for watching that. I'm going to make a short video, okay? And if this is your first time you've seen my channel, please kindly like, share, and subscribe. And for those that have already subscribed, I want to say thank you. Without you, I can't be doing the video. You made me possible. You made it possible for me. Thank you, and stay tuned and watch out for the next one. Big up. Hey, what up, people? How you doing again? It's Jay Ezo back again. How you doing this weekend? I hope you're having a good time. But anyway, I wanted to do a continuation of the video that I've been doing lately, and also just to ask a quick question, please. I would like you guys to always leave me a comment, and I'm fond of replying, definitely. And basically, I want you guys to watch this video of the Vice President of the United States when she visited Africa. So literally, she was just there bribing, yeah? Like I understand in the Western world, okay, when you're trying to lobby your way to get something and then you're giving present or gifts or even monetize whatever that you are looking for, I understand it's corruption, yeah? So I guess I'm pretty sure, I guess the corruption does not apply to the politicians. You know, politicians will come into the office irrespective of their position they occupy. They'll make rules and laws, but it's like it doesn't apply to them. It only applies to the citizen on the street, yeah? Because if you are telling me paying away for something that you want, paying people or bribing people is corruption, I think the US Vice President has done that kind of diplomatically, okay? Because she went to Africa, promising Africa hundreds of millions of dollars, 60 million for Tanzania, 50 or 60 million for Ghana, and another millions of dollars to Uganda for one purpose only, one agenda. And you all know what that is. When they accept that agenda, that the US was ready to invest money to support that agenda. But however, I'm glad to say the Africa were united. They turned it down. Gone are the days that you can buy Africans with money. African is not for sale any longer. But however, I want you guys to stay tuned, watch the video, and as soon as the video is done, I'm going to come right back and summarize everything.
Holiness of the Americans. Let me even throw it on the west side. America right now comes to Tanzania, comes to Ghana, comes to Zambia with 16 million. And guess what? 16 million only for Zambia. The 16 million, ask me, what is it for? What is it for? For human rights. Across the river, China and Russia coming to South Africa, ask me for what? For what? For a military training and skills sharing of security. So the Americans are more interested in a transgender, homosexual agenda around the world. They will invest their money and give you money to protect human rights. Russia and China are coming with weapons and militarization strategies so that we can protect ourselves. So I want to say this very loud and clear to the Americans. Continue on your transgender agenda. Stay there. Leave us to do politics on the other side. Because what we need right now is not a minority human rights activation. What we need is a societal transformation. And for you as Americans to think that we really envy that when you have an anti-lesbian, anti-gay, LGBT principle, then tourists would drop. Let me correct that once and for all, Sbu. And cut and clip this, and it must be loud and clear. Are you saying to me that all the tourists are gay? And when you hear that this is a non-gay zone, tourism will suffer? Question number one. Question number two. Are you saying that we don't have a right to expressing ourselves as Africans? Question number three. If democracy means majority rules and majority votes against a principle, then why won't you allow that to become law? Are you saying the minority must manage the majority or the majority must manage the minority? Then if that whole ideology is wrong, then take democracy in a nice black dustbin bag and throw it outside. Because what you are telling us is by the people, for the people, with the people, and all those slogans you hear, what democracy represents. If we are 10 in the room and 9 people say no, and one person says yes, democracy says you go with the majority. So if we say we want to make Africa democratic, and the demographics of our democracy says no, then why do you philosophically want to manipulate the will of the majority to favor the will of the minority? Then this is where it really gets confusing to me. Because you're selling me one thing on one. I understand this democracy because it is based on the principle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When it comes to practice, no, you can't practice it like that. Then what do you want? Do you want democracy? You want anarchy? You want indigenous governance systems? You want meritocracy? Maybe let's find another way of governing ourselves. But the ideology of democracy being founded on majority rule does not count. Because the rule that runs the South African Constitution right now.
Oh yeah, welcome back. Thank you for watching that little clip. Okay, you all can hear the huge amount of money these people are willing to invest in Africa for just one agenda, one devilish agenda by the US. This money you're hearing now is not the money to elevate people from poverty. It's not the money to invest in agricultural development or infrastructure or whatsoever. Yeah, it for them to accept the right, claiming the right of the human right of the LGBT. But I keep saying, we as a human already have a right. We have human right. And this so-called LGBT, this maggot, unfortunately, they are humans, right? So we already have human right of human, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to do whatever you get to do with your life, but as long as you don't push it on other people. Okay? So why are they trying to impose another law, another right for them? Just a right that will favor few maggots. Yeah? Like I said, America is the country of gay and lesbian and transgender. As a matter of fact, all the so-called Western country. But if you look at the population of America, it's about 350 million, close to 360 million. The gays and lesbian and transgender, they're not even up to 20 million. So are they telling me because they allowed it, 20 million of the population, to oversee the rest 340 million, that is how they want to live. But we Africa say we're not going to live like that. These so-called gays and lesbians in Africa, they're not even up to 1% of our population. So are we going to deny 99% of other people just because of 1% of some maggots? No, it's not going to happen, and it's not going to stay. It's not going to happen. It's not going to stay. You all can give billions of dollars. As a matter of fact, I'm even going to advise our president in Africa, our leader, accept that money from these so-called American people. Take that money from them. Take it from them. Use it for our infrastructure investment, but still, we're not going to pass the law. Is there anything special about this so-called LGBT, lesbian, gay, and transgender? Is there anything special? Is it just the fact that America is losing its ground and they don't have no other thing? The Chinese are building bridges and creating wealth and bridge millionaires and Alibabas and Sheins. America have nothing again to offer to the world but just to be pushing lesbian and gays and transgender agenda. Okay, 60 countries in the whole world have turned it down because they said they're not going to take it. So why are they pushing? What is the big deal? And you think America does not have a problem? They have a problem. They have the homeless people sleeping on the street. Go to New York. You see homeless people, the numbers of the homeless sleeping on the street in so-called America, the world power, the numbers of the homeless in America is not even up to half. Half of that is not even Africa, despite that we're poor in Africa. Go to New York, you were like, is this you New York you'll be hearing about? Homeless are literally like flowers everywhere. They should spend that money to elevate the people, build infrastructure, build a shelter home to accommodate these homeless people. Okay, the less privileged in the society, they should use that money. And they should also use part of that money to strengthen that reform the gun control so that some dementia people are not going to be going to the store buying guns, taking to the mall, killing children and women. Yeah, and still America doesn't think that is an issue they have to rectify. But now they want to start pushing gays and lesbian agenda to people. It's not going to happen. It's not going to stay. Thank you, America. Your time is running out. It's running out. We're not going to accept it. But anyway, thank you for watching. If this is the first time, please kindly like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you're a long-time subscriber, we want to thank you for staying tuned with us and for keep sharing and watching our too. We're going to bring more videos. On this channel, we talk about politics, religions, and news around the world. Thank you for staying. Thank you for watching. Big up. See you next time.